So we're gonna grab the generate class. Implicit conversion to U class. Okay, I want to know where this operator is. Alright, so let's see. The T subclass const assignment operator, subclass of operator, U class operator returns star this? Dereferences back into a U class. I mean, is this what it's doing? Just get default object, get class, and all I was doing wrong before was calling the wrong function? I need to know why. I must know. Alright, so that is what I was doing. Classified information, yeah. Cool, so that's creating an object based on a name and grabbing the blueprint and doing all that. Not bad. Cool, so we've actually got the ability to spawn things by name and do all that craziness. That's not bad, actually. It's grabbing the class of the blueprint, which actually has the things on it that we want. And I'm more of a fan of like having exploded code like this than I am having to go dig through the goddamn implicit conversion to U-class pointer hidden inside of frickin' blueprint core like .h to figure out like where the hell, why is this working? Like this magic shouldn't exist, and yet it's all this like hidden magic stuff, which is like, I get it, but I really don't like when it hides all the things because it's still doing all the damn work to do all this. You're just making it short. Anyway, I'm gonna take a very short break here. We've been streaming for about 6 hours, so take a couple minutes, walk around, maybe get a drink of water, and then I'll be back. And what we're gonna want to do is kind of wrap some of this stuff up, get it clean and working like we want. So we've got we've got our proof of concept, like we've got our basics going on here. So now we want to make it easy to create these things and all that sort of crap. Get the blood bag flowing. Yeah, that's the idea. And we'll get in here and we'll rejigger all the things, and then what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to spawn these actors in, and it's very clear that we need to make things easy on the entity utils, such as like instead of returning, like if you call get entity by name, it shouldn't just be a UObject pointer. It should actually be like something that knows that it's a blueprint, and so we don't have to call like get generated class. It should just have the generated class. We're just like, okay, cool, here's the class that we need in order to clone this thing, and kind of have our data preloading, do all the heavy lifting and like casting and figuring out what the hell objects are, so that when we're actually inside of like create effect by name, it's like, and then it works. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. So we'll get back to getting this asset loading stuff and actor spawning stuff working as we'd like. So we'll start by overhauling a little bit of our stuff. So I think what we're going to want to do is, instead of storing an array of UObject pointers, we are going to want to store classes, because we don't need the UObjects, we need the classes that are backing those UObjects. That's what it looks like. You know, like we need the class in order to make that thing. So it's not important to have the actual UObject itself. But maybe we should have both. So why don't we do so? So this is going to be uClass. So have our class maps and our class arrays. So those should be our classes and all that. So we go to our data manager. And we are going to need to get this whole thing off of it, so it'll be like uClass star, let's see, override class equals null pointer, blue get generated get default object get class. So basically we've got a uClass star CLS equals, let's see, saved class equals object get class. Override class does not equal null pointer. Saved class equals override class, and then infects class map name saved class and effects classes add saved class. Get all entity classes, get all effect classes. And this one should be entity class map. Again, just we'll make these getters for get any class by name, get any class by get effect class by name, effect class map, the entity class map, and then just get our getters for our vectors. Any classes, effect classes, entities effects. Get all entity classes, and get all effect classes. Okay, cool. Not bad. Entity actor and object actor. The object actors are going to be things that we can actually make, so that works. Alright. So, okay, let's just make sure this actually compiles, and then we'll switch over to using it. Make sure it works. Kind of ugly, but asset loading code is kind of ugly. So usually there's a lot of edge cases, and you want stuff to just kind of work, so a lot of the times there are places in code that just are usually ugly and have tons of hacks and stuff like that. And, it can be normal. Normally that's not your physics code, at least. Unless you're working on Halo 1, in which case the Warthog is probably... I just love that. The Halo 1 Warthog had like, the best physics of all time. It was completely bullshit, and like the Master Chief Collection and all those, the one thing that they couldn't get to work properly and like all their updates was they couldn't get the Warthog. Thank you for hosting, Karakan. Which of course was my favorite thing. So like the Master Chief Collection came out and like the you know, they had the remake of Halo 1 with the new engine and everything, and then I immediately switched to the old engine and was like, the physics aren't right, this is all wrong. Like, this is bullshit. I can't just like crash into a boulder and get over the geometry and get into the middle of the level where I shouldn't be with the car, and that pissed me off. Because that was what was awesome about parts of that game, is that it was just flat broken. We used to do Warthog jousting on PC where basically you ran into each other at full speed. Yeah. You ran into each other at full speed with the Warthog, and like the network code was just awful, so like you would both see completely different pictures, and usually on your screen you'd survive. And then like 10 seconds later, it finally rubber band back to where you should be, and you'd just be dead. So it was kind of just playing Russian roulette with each other, running into each other at maximum speed, which was great. That was always fun. So entity utils we should call get effect class by name. So get effect class by name, and that should give us the U class of the object. So CLS, so unable to find effect class with name blah. And then all we do is call spawn actor with CLS. Should make a game out of it. I know, like, just Warthog Joust the game. Though it really was kind of the thing you did after playing Halo for like 6 hours with your clan, and you had beat everybody in the server and nobody came back because they're all, you know, crying their salty tears. So that was always good. Because, you know, it's after like 6 hours of playing Halo where you've killed everybody in the server so many times that they rage quit because you get your clan in there who's like super awesome and you guys dominate the scoreboard forever. Of course, you guys hosting the server has nothing to do with that, and you haven't, you know, you don't have a ping advantage. That's not what we always planned to have. That's not what we did all the time. So everybody'd leave and it'd just be us left, and it'd be like, ah, fuck it, we'll just, you know, tool around on these warthogs in the middle of the map until somebody shows up, and then we'll just murder them. Which the Halo 1 PC community was great. Like, one of the best things I think was this one guy who his entire goal in life was to get you banned from servers, and the way you could get people banned from servers was, you know, it wasn't like there were mods there banning people for saying racist crap in chat. No, that, you know, this was a while ago. Nobody gave a damn. You know, you could say whatever the hell you wanted. You know, this is before calling people, you know, whatever online was actually a bad deal. This was, you know, back in 3rd grade where everybody's calling each other things that you shouldn't mention now because it's current year, right? So the way you get people banned is you would get them to kill you. So he would basically run in front of you and try to get you to shoot him. And the code for detecting if you team killed had to do with if somebody else caused you damage and then you died. So what he'd do is, like, he'd run in front of you while you're like fighting somebody else, get you to shoot him once on accident or something, and then he'd run over into a corner and throw a grenade and kill himself. And, you know, he'd do things like he'd run over and hit you in the face once and then like back up, and then, you know, you'd usually like fire a bullet at him or like hit him back, and then he'd go run over to the corner and blow himself up because he didn't want to blow you up. So what you'd have to do is like follow him. So if he was gonna blow somebody up, he'd have to blow both of you. So stuff like that. And this guy followed us everywhere, which really meant that it was one of the guys in the clan being a douchebag. But the guy was so much fun. We never banned him from anything because he was always like a rogue element in the map, causing people problems. And it didn't matter what team he was on. Like, he wasn't, you know, he was a takes all customers asshole. But he wasn't like vindictive about it. He wouldn't like just murder people. You know, he wasn't gonna be bad. Alright, and we also need to make a create entity by name. So let's do that. Create entity by name. And we'll do the same basic thing. and this is going to be get entity class. Of course, we have to actually make this a function. Yeah, those are good times playing a bunch of Halo. That was like kind of middle of high school for me, because I had bought a computer because when I was 15, I took out a loan to buy a computer because I was that kind of person. Like a PS shutdown troll. Yeah. Which is really funny. It's like you roll in at like dinner and you're like, hey mom, yeah, I bought a computer today. It's just like, how the hell did you buy a computer? You're like, well, I took out a loan. You're like, you're 15. How the hell did you take out a loan? You're like, well, I went to Dell.com and I just clicked like take out loan, and a computer's on the way now. She's like, you fucking deal with this. I'm not. I have no part in this. So I got a computer, and that was cool because then I needed to go get a job because that's usually how it works with money. You're like, you don't have money, and then you take out a loan, and then you need money. But yeah, so I had my computer that I had bought, and I was just like up in my room playing Halo all day, and I would just like yell obscene profanities at like the top of my lungs, and my mom would be downstairs just like, are you serious? Like, because every 5 minutes, you know, I'd just rage out when something would happen, because I was 15, and that's what you do when you lose in a game of Halo. You get so pissed that you just yell at the top of your lungs, and you just forget where you are. So we should now change our player. We need to know what we can actually make here. So we loaded Bitey player, standard player, fatsec proxy. Where the hell is that log? Like I want to make the frickin' log tunnel. Like the log tunnel should be something that we can make. And why can't I make the log tunnel? Probably because I haven't added the path. So we have asset paths. Yeah, obstacles is not in the asset path, so we're going to add obstacles. That's not how you spell obstacles. But yeah, so I found out later the reason why I was able to take out that loan when I was 15, when, you know, it's not like I had a credit rating or something. The reason I was able to take out the loan is because for some reason one of my parents' house's mortgages went onto my credit history. So basically, as an 8-year-old, I had like an 800 or 900 or whatever the hell credit score, because it was official that I had, as like an 8-year-old, bought a house and paid for it. Like it's on there. Nobody has ever been able to explain why, but apparently I was the one working and bringing home the money and paying off that mortgage. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, identity theft, right? I stole my parents' identity when I was 8 years old, and I got the credit for paying off the house. I mean, and you don't. Are you gonna go correct an issue like that? I mean, that's their fucking problem. They can go fix that, and by their problem I mean, you know, the credit people. And by the time my parents figured it, you know, we figured it out, which was like when I was going to get like a loan for college, and you know, we went to the loan officer, and we're asking them. They're like, "Oh wow, look at, you can get like a great, you know, insurance. You can get a great you know, annual percentage on this loan. Like you, amazing history." And I'm like, I haven't ever done anything except, you know, I had that loan. I was like, well, yeah, I took out a loan and bought a computer when I was 15. And he's like, no, you it says here you bought a house. I'm just like, cool. It's just like, what the hell? Alright, so I want to play this thing, and yeah, loaded asset log tunnel as entity. So we should be able to now spawn log tunnels from blueprints. So let's go find that. So let's do the same thing here. Let's call create entity by name. Let's pass in log tunnel. And let's make this from 3,000 to 5,000 and like that and all that. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, you should be able to. Why is it getting all pissed? Position must have a valid info. Well, how about that? Oh my god, it's a log tunnel. It got spawned. Alright, we got all the log tunnels. They're trying to get in there, but they can't. There's a lot of log tunnels. I'm surprised we can move over this without lagging the hell out of the game. That's pretty cool. That means that our physics code is actually not complete shit, because that's a couple hundred log tunnels that we're doing raycasts and stuff against, you know, complex raycasts and stuff like that on. So it works pretty well. That is excellent. That worked perfectly on the first try. What a concept. So yeah, that's a composite object that we created. So that would be like create a boss or something like that and spawn it in a specific area. And we got an effect there that we can play. We got the FX sack going there. I'm just gonna throw a little comment box around this and say spawn effect and entity. So that's pretty cool. Like that's really easy to create something and throw it somewhere. I don't really like the needing to like make a vector right here and do all that sort of crap. I think that's kind of stupid. But yeah, play effects works. This thing works. I like it. And we didn't crash on exit and all that stuff. Okay, cool. So we also want like create effect by class. So we probably want like U class star CLS. And I wonder if we can do something about this. Like we should probably do like a T subclass of sort of thing. Yeah, we should do a T subclass of a specific type, which would be the U-Dashkin effect actor. Yeah, so it'd be like something like this. Do we have a get world on Dashkin game mode? Because if we don't, we should. Yeah, let's add one. U world, get world. Probably already have one somewhere, but obviously I don't know where the hell it is. So that means it doesn't exist. Holy shit, it's right there, isn't it? It's fucking staring me in the damn face. Get world safe. And it's on the U-Dashkin game instance. Alright, so we want U-Dashkin game instance, get world safe. Just shut that off. Let's do some stuff that I hate to do, but I also like to do sometimes. You can kind of play around with code a little bit to make it really compact if you really want to. It's usually not a great idea. Create effect by class. A Dashkin effect actor. We're going to need to include that. Include Dashkin effect actor.h. This is going to be a class creation like this. Let's make sure that this actually works. Because what we should get now is we should get a drop down of different actors that exist in Blueprint Land that we can make. So we should have like a drop down that actually, instead of putting in the fat sack test effect, we should just like click a drop down and be able to click like, this is what I want to make. And we want to do the same thing with entities, and it should be like the log should be in there for us to be able to spawn somewhere. That way, you know, if you're going through, like, okay, I need to make an AI, I need to make Fatsack needs to shoot fireballs out of his eyes, and you just do, okay, well, if Fatsack sees Bitey and Bitey is within 500 feet, then create fireball and set the velocity. You know, that's basic things like that. I should just put something in there like that and see if Adam notices. Like, yeah, have you played the game recently? Oh, yeah. I don't think you had. You would have noticed the fat sacks shooting fireballs at you. Yeah. You get them all pissed off. They turn from fat sacks into hell sacks. And they're bright red with orange eyes. And they just start tearing shit up. So we're gonna jump back into this blueprint logic real quick, and let's see if we can do a create entity, create effect by class, create effect. What do we call it? Create effect by class. It's totally there. Like, it's a U function. Creation only has 2 things in it. Okay, something's sick here. Something didn't compile or something like that. Oh, it's not static. There it is. There's our problem. Every creature has a more dangerous counterpart. Well, that's halfway lazy in a lot of ways. That's how you make content on those games. But yeah, that would be really funny. But I think Adam's got... I actually need to go over the story. He's written a whole bunch of it, and I need to go give him some feedback. But he's got a whole thing. He knows what he wants. That game was comparatively huge for the SNES. Yeah, that game was massive. And it even had the Mode 7 graphics with Flammy. Like, hell yeah. Yeah, that was a really fun game, and it was even better because I had 2 brothers, right? So I had 2 brothers. No, I have 2 brothers. So when we're growing up, we could actually play Secret of Mana with like 3 players, which was fucking amazing. Play as a team of 3. Yeah, we sucked. We sucked, though. God, we were awful at that game. Like, I remember I was pretty much too young to know what the hell to do at all. So I remember just like roaming around outside of the Water Palace for like 2 million years, grinding fish because because I didn't know what the hell to do. So I just leveled my guys up to just ridiculous levels, just grinding fish because it was so much fun just killing fish. So eventually my brothers are like, you know, you can advance in the game. And I was like, where do you go? Because this is before, you know, GameFAQs and the internet, right? So you had to like go over to that one guy's house who knows everything about Nintendo games. Everybody knows that guy. Because, you know, nobody likes that guy, but everybody knows that guy because when they get stuck in games, they go over to that dude's house and they're like, dude, how the hell did you like get this bullshit in Super Metroid? You know, and he's there like, yeah, well, it's like this. You're an idiot, and you're gonna have to say I rule, and then we'll need effect by class and stuff like that. It works out pretty well. So let's see, create effect by class, and we can select our class, and it looks like, yeah, we got test effect actor blueprint right there. So we can spawn our little fat sack dude just like that. Yeah, the other thing that was hilarious was I played Chrono Trigger, like basically in elementary school. Let's see, let's make a max of 5,000, max of 7,000. Emulators were just starting. Yeah, slaughtering the Mana Dragon took every single flame. I don't think we ever actually beat Secret of Mana. We kind of grew out of it or something. I don't know. But I remember we had emulators back just starting in elementary school, and I grabbed an emulator and was playing Chrono Trigger. Hey, there's our spawn by class. Playing Chrono Trigger, but this was back before emulators actually were good. So emulators were just garbage. Like they couldn't actually do all the layers properly. Like Mega Man X, like you go into a water level and like the screen is just blue. Like they didn't have like the nice like overlaid transparencies because, you know, this was the early days of, you know, you had to like boot up 3 different emulators just to get like Star Fox works over in this one, and, you know, Super Metroid works over in this emulator, and you had to like do all this bullshit to get them to actually do what they wanted. And I remember playing Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Trigger has the future world that you go to. Spoilers: Chrono Trigger is about time travel. I'm sorry. Shit, I've ruined it. Sorry, I've ruined one of the greatest games of all time. But basically, this is going to be Dashkin Entity Actor. Dashkin Entity Actor. No, fuck, it's not that. It's Dashkin Object Actor. Create entity by class. So it's got that future world, right, where Lavos like blew the hell out of everything, and shit all sucks, and nobody's got any food, but they got that energy chair that like refuels you, but you're still hungry. The entire future world, the entire future world is covered by like that gray fog stuff, and it's in every damn level in the future world except for like when you're in the sewers or whatever. And that gray fog, I could not for the life of me figure out how in the hell to get rid of it. So I beat Chrono Trigger, and I beat that area without being able to see the map. Now, I don't know how the hell I managed to do that, but I couldn't see anything in Future World at all. Like, literally nothing on the entire screen. except for like the text boxes that would pop up and shit like that. And I was still able to beat it. So like I was able to navigate to the other parts of like the world without seeing the world. Except for like when you got somewhere and it had like the little text box of the name where you'd enter. I found all the people that you could talk to and all that sort of shit without ever actually seeing the universe. I do not know how like 10-year-old me was able to do that, but I think it had a lot to do with just having absolutely nothing else to do with my life because I was 10. Yeah. That is a curatorium. Are you serious? He designed the characters in Chrono Trigger. Yeah, well, I mean, that made sense. I mean, Chrono just looks like Goku. So, I mean, that's just... So, I guess it makes sense. And it's always interesting, like, the things that you look back on that you absolutely hated. Like, in Chrono Trigger, I hated the stupid-ass court system there, where they, like, judge you and throw you in jail. I thought that was total bullshit. I was like, I'm not the bad guy. These guys are jerks. This is complete crap. But, like, now I'm just like, this is the best part. You know, all these corrupt bureaucrats. Screw those guys. We're gonna mess them up. It was like, I don't want to be in jail. I don't want to be the bad guy. Alright, so now we want to create, not an effect by class, we want to do create entity by class. Well, let's see what shows up. We should see, yeah, we got the log tunnel. Awesome, so that should make it super easy to, you know, make new things. In blueprints, because we're just like, you know, slam, bam, and we're done. And speaking of great RPG games, if you have not played Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, go do that. It's amazing. I'm still waiting for Charles Barkley 2 to come out. Yeah, when is Barkley 2 coming out anyway? I mean, it was supposed to come out Q4 2003. I mean, that's just... Well, what do they have now? Oh, they've actually been streaming the game. What? I'll have to go take a look at that. Oh, they don't have any like historical videos though. Well, I'll have to follow them. Wait, which one? You haven't seen Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden? It looks like their site is just like completely freaking broken too. But it's a free game. It was made in Game Maker, and it's super amazing. Like, it's surprising how bad the game is at like first blush, and then how amazing the game is after. Like, you can still find it online. Like, it's just like Google the download for it or whatever. But the game starts off, and you're like, oh, this game is awful. But it's actually amazing. It just takes a little bit to get into. And I'm a little bit surprised that not more games have done something like it. Because for how awful the game is, it makes sense. Like, basically, the plot for it is that Space Jam is canon. Like, Space Jam happened. Stuff like there is no game here. Oh. Well. I may have a copy. I'll just go ahead and upload that to my server. Yeah, basically, Space Jam happened, it's canon, and then basketball was outlawed after Charles Barkley blew up New York City with a slam dunk that was just so amazing that it destroyed the universe, pretty much. And you play as Charles Barkley. So here's a gigantic download link that works for the next. Oh, I deleted my own link because it's too big? That's bullshit. Fine. I'll change the ACL settings.